If you want to build $1 million e-commerce business on Amazon in 2025, you need to hear this. For the last 10 years, we've been in the trenches with brands and have taken them from six figures to multi-millions, and in total have generated $500 million in annual recurring revenue. Right now, I'm going to show you a real roadmap from beginner to 1 million on Amazon. No fluff, no get rich quick, no drop shipping fantasies. Because someone has to tell you the truth. The Amazon game has changed. If you're stuck at or under six figures, or even just starting out, you can break through, but only if you understand what's working now versus what will sink you before you even launch. First, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can continue to hear some of the strategies we use to generate 500 million in e-commerce sales. Step 1 is study consumer demand. Your first move is not picking a logo or calling a supplier, it's reading the market. You really have two options. Look for an emerging category or find a category that may have been around for a while but is being underserved in a specific way. A good tool for this is Google Trends. You can go to trends.google.com, start searching for different categories, and see what the demand has been like over time. Let's look at reading glasses, for example. It's been pretty consistent for the last 5 years, so not much growth in demand, definitely since the spike in 2021. And it's not really an underserved space. This category already has players addressing every customer segment. Value shoppers seeking affordability, style-conscious buyers prioritizing design, and niche users who need portability or special features. Now let's assume you've identified a category that is emerging or has an underserved segment. But here's the secret that dropshipping courses or white label manufacturers won't tell you. It's not enough to launch a product that is the same as every other option. That's why step 2 is build a better mousetrap. You can't just copy and paste what's already out there. Let's take a category like creatine, for example. Yes, people buy it. Yes, it's popular. But if you launch a creatine powder that's the same as 100 other formulas, no unique ingredient blend, no unique benefit, no unique marketing, you're just another commodity. And commodities compete on one thing: price, which means you lose your margins fast. That's why you have to build a better mousetrap. That could mean a unique formulation or ingredient combination. Maybe for a different product, it's a physical redesign that solves a pain point, or at the very least, a marketing strategy aimed at a niche audience that's not currently being targeted for that product. The days of drop shipping and white labeling the same thing as everyone else is long gone. Everyday Dose is an example of a brand that did this the right way. Mushroom coffee is growing in demand. Collagen protein is also growing in demand. So instead of launching these two products by themselves, they combined them into a single product to create a super coffee. An example of a brand that built a better mousetrap with patent protection would be Oura. The smart wearables market was already dominated by Fitbit, Apple Watch, Garmin, and others, and on the surface, launching another fitness tracker in that crowded space looked like a bad idea. But Oura switched things up by designing a discrete titanium ring instead of a bulky wrist device. Importantly, they patented their sensor technology for tracking temperature, heart rate, and sleep so that the other players couldn't make the same thing. Then they built their brand story around sleep and recovery optimization, which the other brands weren't dominating. So even in a crowded market, innovation plus patent protection gave them a window to dominate long enough to build brand loyalty before anyone else could catch up. Now, if you create an awesome product but you're not able to get a patent, you have to assume that copycats are coming. It's not a maybe, it's a guarantee. That's why you must blitz the market fast. You have to push hard on customer acquisition, saturate your niche with your brand, and lock in loyalty before knockoffs hit. Take, for example, Dr. Squatch. Soap has been around for thousands of years, so how do you launch a new brand in that space? Well, they had really strong marketing to a niche audience. They targeted younger men with the 3 E's principle: entertain, educate, entice. Their ads were very entertaining, so people actually wanted to watch them. They educated their audience why most body washes were bad for them, and they had enticing offers with good quality products. Now, they have a loyal customer base who will continue to buy different variations and products they produce. So once you know how your product is going to be a better mousetrap, you need to determine price point. Pricing isn't about being the cheapest or even the most expensive. It's about positioning and perception. You need to hit a number that makes your target customer say, that's worth it. Let's go back to the mushroom coffee example. If everyone is selling mushroom coffee for $19.99 and you add collagen protein and start charging $60, it's not going to work because people can get mushroom coffee and collagen separately for less. So that's what they'll do. The goal should be a price that's higher than generic options because of your unique edge, but still close enough to the alternatives that people feel they're getting a better deal for something more innovative. This is where you maximize net profit, not just revenue. Price too low, kill your margins. Price too high, kill your conversion rate. So once you have your target pricing, you need to have a deep understanding of what your profit margins will be. It doesn't matter how great your product is. If you don't know your numbers, you can sell yourself right into bankruptcy.
I declare bankruptcy!
Here are the fees you need to know for Amazon. Your Amazon referral fee, and that's 15% for most categories. Your FBA fee, storage fees, your cost to ship to Amazon, your cost of goods, any extra overhead including 3PL, storage, your own warehouse, packing supplies, and the CPCs for your category. So if your CPC is $2 to $3 and your average conversion rate is 10%, that means you're spending $20 to $30 in ads just to make one sale. That's before you've even paid for shipping or your product. This is why you If you're selling a consumable at a low price in a competitive price-driven category, you need to have a really strong customer lifetime value from subscriptions or upsells, very low cost of goods, and enough cash to survive while you build a loyal subscriber base. Otherwise, you'll be running hard on the hamster wheel and never get ahead. Profit margins are your oxygen. Ignore them and you'll suffocate fast. Once your numbers work on paper, the next battlefield is getting shoppers to click and buy, and that starts with your packaging. On Amazon, you've got less than 2 seconds for someone to decide if they're going to click on you or scroll past. That decision is made with their eyes. Your packaging is not just a container, it's a representation of your brand and quality. It says, here's what I am, here's why I'm different, and here's why you can trust me with your money. If you're selling a superfood, but your label is like a bright orange and uses industrial block fonts, you've just created friction. Healthy shoppers are trained to look for cues. Greens, earth tones, minimalism, organic textures. Colors have meaning, and if you get them wrong, you've already started losing conversions before they even get to your product info. You have to ask yourself, does my packaging instantly tell them the category I'm in? Does it clearly communicate my unique selling points? Does it look like it's worth the price I'm charging? Remember that over 70% of Amazon shoppers are buying on mobile. This means your label needs to be legible at the size of a postage stamp. Once you design your packaging, before launching, you'll want to do a product perception survey. You'll take roughly 10 of your top competitors from Amazon, add yours into the mix, and ask consumers in a survey which product they would buy based on packaging and why. If you're not a top choice every time, you need to go back to the drawing board. Do not waste your time or money launching a product if it's consistently coming in as a bottom pick in the product perception surveys. That alone could save you thousands, if not millions of dollars. Now that you have your winning packaging, you gotta secure your trademark for your brand and even your product if possible. For your brand trademark, you should be using Amazon's IP Accelerator program because that will get you early access to Amazon Brand Registry and unlock features like A+ content, brand store, and sponsored brand ad campaigns. Here's something else to consider that most people don't think about. Are you able to create a trademarked product brand name? This is a non-brand specific name. For example, the company Sports Research has a product called Sweet Sweat, which is a topical gel used during exercise to enhance thermogenetic activity and increase circulation. Since thermogenetic activity enhancer is a mouthpiece, they trademarked Sweet Sweat, which is the term customers use to refer to this product. So now whenever someone searches that product, they're using the brand's trademarked name, which makes it extremely difficult for others to penetrate the market. That's why if you're creating a a new category of product, definitely trademark not only your brand name, but also your product name. On top of that, you'll also need to get UPCs for your products. It's very important to purchase your UPCs through GS1 because that's the only supplier that Amazon will recognize as legitimate. If you buy UPCs from a different source like barcodes.com or something like that, it's going to lead to big headaches down the road. If your category is going to require any compliance documents like safety data sheets or lab testing, make sure to have that readily available. Simultaneously, you'll need to be building an email list. You should be posting daily on social media, entertaining and educating about your product to build hype once it's available. Offer an early bird discount to those who enter their email to be informed when the product is live and available for purchase. That way, once you launch, you can announce it and get some good sales on the listing right away, which will help you in the algorithm and ranking positions. Now you're ready to set up your Amazon Seller Central account. So go to sell.amazon.com and follow the prompts to get started. Once that's set up, you'll want to set up your brand registry account. You'll go to brandregistry.amazon.com and follow the prompts to get that connected with your seller account. Make sure to use the same login credentials you just set up with your seller account. That way they automatically connect. When listing your products on Seller Central, it's imperative to make sure that your listings are retail ready from the start. This means SEO optimized product titles, bullet points, and descriptions. You'll also need secondary images that communicate your value proposition and unique selling points. The secondary images are the number one place customers go to get information about your product, so that's very important. Don't forget about your product detail page video showcasing why your product is the best, and you'll also need A+ content to drive all these points home. It's also important to fill out the back-end content such as keywords and attributions with as much detail as possible. Quick note on the keywords section, the back-end keywords are meant for terms that are not already in your front-end content, which is your titles, bullet points, and descriptions. So really try to think about new terms that you didn't already use that it may be relevant for Amazon to know about. Once your listings are retail ready, your next move is to ship inventory to Amazon's FBA centers. FBA means that Amazon will store and ship your product to its customers. That's how they can offer free same-day shipping in a lot of regions for Prime members. You do not want to be FBM, which would be you shipping directly to customers. The reason is you cannot get your shipments to the majority of the country in only 1 or 2 days. Amazon customers expect that, so you'll kill your conversion rate if you try. Once your inventory is shipped to Amazon, you're ready to officially launch your product. Here's what you'll want to do for the launch. Create a brand referral link within the Amazon Ads platform. This essentially acts as an affiliate link, which means Amazon will give you an extra 10% of all sales generated through this link. Basically, it knocks your Amazon referral fee down from 15% to only 5%. So this is the link that you'll want to use in your product launch email, as well as any social media post or ads about it. You'll also want to submit your products to Amazon's Vine program. Through this, you'll offer up to 30 units for free to select Amazon customers who will, in exchange, leave a detailed review on your listing. It's important to know that it's not a guarantee that the reviews will always be 5 stars or even positive. But in reality, if the Vine participants leave bad reviews, you likely would have received critical or negative feedback from standard customers regardless. If that is the case, you'll want to review the negative feedback and maybe make some changes to your product and relaunch it under a new ASIN. But let's assume that's not going to happen. So after you start getting positive reviews and you have a good star rating, you're ready to launch Amazon ads. The best campaigns to get started with are sponsored product campaigns and sponsored brand video campaigns targeting primary search terms. Primary search terms are exactly what your product is. Say you're selling a large purple wooden coffee table. There's your primary search term, large purple wooden coffee table. As you get more broad, you get into secondary and tertiary terms. So a secondary search term would be coffee table. It's not specifying what type of coffee table, so yours may or may not be what they're looking for. Tertiary would be, say, living room furniture. You get the idea. So you'll want to target primary search terms to start and negate things you already know you wouldn't convert for. And In the large wooden purple coffee table example, it would be a good idea to preemptively negate terms like small or a different color like red and so on. ASIN targeting campaigns are also a good idea. If you have a better offering than your competitors, you can target their products directly. Now that you have the foundation set up and are generating sales, you can start focusing on optimization. For ad campaigns, regularly review your search term reports and identify keywords and ASINs that are not converting so you can add them to your negative keywords list. If you notice one of your campaigns is not getting any spend, you may need to slightly increase your bids. If you notice the campaign is performing well at an ACoS that is profitable for you, you could look into increasing your daily budget to get more clicks. You'll also want to be analyzing your listing content to improve click-through rates and conversions. You can adjust your main images, maybe you add a graphic or an icon or tweak something on the packaging to be more eye-catching, more enticing, and get more clicks. You could also optimize listing titles to address features that your customers may be seeking. You can even test different price points to see if a higher or lower price point will yield a higher net profit for you. And that's important to keep in mind because even if your revenue goes up or down, the true focus needs to be on your net profits. To increase conversion rates, you can do A/B testing on secondary images and A+ content to ensure that your content is conveying your value propositions and unique selling points in an optimal way. Keep tweaking, keep refining, don't get complacent. All in all, this is a lot of information, and truth be told, there's a lot of nuances that we can't cover in this video. You're likely going to have a lot of questions and come across a lot of unique situations. You might doubt yourself. Maybe you're an existing brand and you launched, but you're not making the $1 million that you thought you would be, or maybe you are and you want to be making $10 million. That's where the Padapi Amazon Seller Club comes in. As I mentioned previously, we've been working with brands on Amazon for 10 years and have generated $500 million in annual recurring revenue. We've developed a lot of strategies and resources that allow us to make this a repeatable process so we can do this for many brands. But we've learned we can't do this for every brand. Yet we still want to help as many companies as possible, which is why we've taken our strategies and resources and we've put them into the Amazon Seller Club. Here's what you get when you join: a full Amazon Seller step-by-step video course, not some surface level fluff. We go deep into everything that actually moves the needle on Amazon: account health, ads, catalog, creative strategy, customer service, inventory management, legal compliance, marketplace analysis, profit maximization, revenue recovery, all of it. You won't find this in a Google search. ChatGPT can't give it to you. Amazon would rather you never know this stuff because when you do, it literally costs them money. You'll get access to a library of resources we've built for over a decade: guides, templates, pre-written letters, the exact tools we use to fix catalog issues, restore account health, unlock more inventory space, and cut through Amazon's red tape. But here's what makes the Padapi Seller Club unlike anything else out there: weekly personalized assignments. We look at your actual listings and we tell you what to change to improve rankings, boost click-through rates, raise conversions, and most importantly, grow your revenue and net profits. Now, it is invite only. You'll apply, we'll interview you, and if it's a good fit, you're in. We can't hand this information to just anyone. Padapi stands for providing in-depth and professional information, and we take that seriously. If this sounds like the thing you've been waiting for, click the link in this video's description or on our profile. Maybe there's a button to click. Fill out your info and let's hop on a call. We want to see you dominate your product category. If you're not ready yet, that's fine. Hit the subscribe button and take advantage of the free strategies we put out. There's real value in that. But if you're still here, I think you're the type of person who takes action. And if I'm right, I'll talk to you soon.